truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the JohnAge Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the AnomicAge, and I am your host, JohnAge. Happy to be back with you once again in the dark side of the AM. We're sitting at 11. Oh, almost dark side of the AM. We got 9 minutes. We're sitting at 11:51 Eastern Standard Time, hailing proudly from the coastal plains of the Old North State. I will be your tour guide this evening as we take a somewhat satirical journey down the path of murder, destruction, mayhem, and the extermination of human life on this planet. A forced march into obsolescence thrust upon us by a global satanic death cult of pedophiles. Check out AnomicAge.com. If you can do no more, please like all the likes, subscribe to all the subscriptions, paypal.me/AnomicAge, patreon.com/AnomicAge as well. Those are the best ways you can help me support the show, do anything that you can do to foster growth here at the AnomicAge. So once again, you can find those links on any platform that you happen to be listening to and or watching this on. Got a lot to get into this evening, so let's hit the ground running. Yeah. So much to get into. I don't know how things aren't more satirical than they really are. Hit the ground running. Isn't that a little David Lee Roth? I think so. I've been seeing all kinds of just sad video of Diamond Dave. I don't know if it's time to hang up the boots or not, David Lee Roth, but I mean, man. I got no words. I mean, I love anybody that's out doing what they love to do. I think for most people, it's just kind of sad at a certain level to see the natural aging process, I guess, folks. That's really what it's all about, man. Everybody's going to age, and no one shall stay the same. The only thing that will remain is that it's all in flux, folks. It's all constantly changing. So that's all we can say. Let's dive right into it, folks. I didn't mean to sidetrack, but I mean, hey, sometimes you got to let it do what it do. Tonight's episode, quite aptly titled, I must say. And the image does kind of give it away. Burning the Bill of Rights. I swear, folks, just when you think things can't get any dumber, a new day is on the horizon, and it just gets dumber all the time. You know, I love InfoWars and Alex Jones and all that stuff, but I swear, man, I don't know, Alex. Swear, man. I've tuned in a little lately, and it's just like, you got to just keep praising the good stuff and praising Trump, and it's all going to work out, and, you know, kind of hating on those people that are black-pilled and those people that are just not, I guess, in the Trump cult. I don't know, man. I don't think you're in the Trump cult either, AJ, but, I mean, come on, man. I'm all for being glass half full when needed and glass half empty when needed. Over the years, I would dare say that I've been teetering on the dark side of the force more often than not. But, you know, I think it's warranted, folks. It really is. I mean, I like a little Youth of Today, but I always kind of hated Posicor. I thought it was just phony and just crap. You know, I'm not saying you shouldn't have that PMA that Bad Brains used to sing about. You got to have that PMA. I got that attitude. Yeah, but you always have to temper the PMA with a little reality. You know what I mean? And I swear, man, you can praise Trump on the good stuff, but then, unless you're just dumb, deaf, and blind, I don't know how you can just whistle past the graveyard for all this other stuff. That's what we're getting into tonight. That's why you got this lovely graphic from yours truly, blending the best of both worlds. Couldn't mention Diamond Dave without getting into a little Sammy, I guess, huh? So we are combining the best of both worlds, maybe four worlds if you look all close like. Because we got the classic scene there from The Breakfast Club. Don't make me come here again or I'm cracking skulls. Remember the principal coming in there? But I think you're going to see some more relevance in the next few minutes here as we play this clip. Because that's not really the scene I was thinking about when I was thinking about this press conference from about 48 hours ago. So let's play that, and then I'll play a whole lot more. Then we'll just sort of round things up with the little weapons of mass distraction. That sounds about right now, doesn't it? Okie dokie, folks. Let's play this first clip here. This is the press conference from just a few days ago. Excuse me. Oh, let's hear it, Trump, I swear. Let's hear it, buddy. Pains me, man. Pains me. But we gotta hear it. We gotta hear it. Here we go. Start from the top. Okay. Click.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is
incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately.
Oh, really?
And what the
You will see the flag burning stopping immediately. It's just, oh, man, this is painful. Painful to watch. I hope they put that language in there. Did they put it in there? Didn't you read this, man? Come on, Trump. I hope they put the language in there about inciting riots. So now we're somehow parlaying the fact that it might, shriek fire in a crowded theater because it's saying that burning the American flag will start a riot. So that's kind of the parlay that Mr. T is trying to bring in there. He's trying to say, it's going to start a riot, so it's not free speech. That's the inference, but not the reality. But my favorite part was, not 1 month, not 10 years, but 1 year. And it's going on your permanent record. Which immediately made me think of The Breakfast Club. That's kind of where I came up with this imagery there. Because that's what it made me think of The Breakfast Club, because the principal, once again, it's going on your permanent record. Oh, man, it's so disgusting, folks. It's like that old Violent Femme song. I hope that you know that this will go down on your permanent record. Oh, yeah? And that's just the funny of this whole thing, man. So once again, we have deleted the First Amendment. And somebody out there is tapping their finger or maybe raising a finger at what I'm saying here, because I'm daring to say the obvious. It's clearly an attack on the First Amendment. That's freedom of speech, folks. That's what this is. So I'm not suggesting that I'm pro burning the American flag, but if you're of that ilk and want to go do that, then it shouldn't cost you a year and flip in prison. That's stupid. That's insane. So no more First Amendment, I guess. And if you're connecting dots here, which I hope you are, the listening audience, at least the AnomicAge audience, is pretty well versed in this, I do believe. Because this connects a lot of dots to Palantir. Remember Palantir? That had to be in the big, beautiful bill. Peter Thiel, you remember the gay dude that's really an Israeli operative? You remember that guy, don't you? Palantir, Yeah, Peter Thiel, the guy that just managed to pull a golden parachute out of his trousers for J.D. Vance or whatever he was calling himself at the time, so he could work for Palantir. This is AI spy tech at its finest. Yeah. So, if you thought the threat fusion centers for the Obama regime were bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. We got Skynet now, baby. It's coming for you. And everything you say is going to be thrown into that database. And then, when the commies are back in control, the precedent has been set. Because now, thanks to Trump, baby, we've got the military acting as police in the District of Criminals, the would-be capital of this Estados Unidos, don't you know? And fear not, because it will also expand to the other commie bleepholes that you might be familiar with, to and fro anywhere you go across this lovely land of ours, don't you know? New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, L.A., Portland, all of them, baby. I guess we're coming soon to a commie bleephole near you. We'll be rounding them up. Cue the police truck song from the Dead Kennedys. I guess that's where we're going to be in a couple weeks. And Palantir will make it digital. Palantir will make it AI directed. And in case you also forgot, Pirro, remember Janine Pirro, the big bad spooky judge that we're all supposed to, I guess if you're of elk right, you're supposed to kiss her, I don't know, robes, ring, or whatever. Because Pirro's saying that we won't tolerate this anti-Semitism. Oh, it's the scourge across the nation, and the rocket's red glare. So no First Amendment. You can't criticize Israel, or else we will send Palantir for you. We will disappear you into D.C. Guantanamo, maybe. But wait, there's more. Because now you can't even burn the flag. Because you get a year in the slammer. Okay, so that was fun, right? Yeah. So just in case you missed it, that's the new normal, I guess. Let's see. There's so many funnies to go around. I don't even know where to begin. Let's roll into this one because we haven't talked about this yet. Let's kick it off. I'll just let it play. You think about it. We'll talk about it.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and the different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students. We're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China. But it's a different relationship that we have now with China. It's a much better relationship economically than it was before. With Biden, boy, what he allowed that, I mean, they just took him to the cleaners, you know?
Ooh. Excuse me? What? 600,000 students we're going to let in from China? 600,000 students from China. Is that all? That's roughly double the 277,000 that was let in 2023, 2024. Now we're talking 600,000. Holy shnikes, folks. 600,000 students from China that we're just going to let in on some fun visa plan. Why, on God's green earth, would we let in 600,000 Chinese students into the United States to attend our universities, most likely on our dime, so they could take the knowledge from here, so they could parlay it into the cult of academia, so they could get into industry and steal those secrets and bring them back to, say it with me, class, China. Okay, so I mean, that sounds reasonable, right? Yeah, we want to do that because it makes perfect sense. After all, we're the land of opportunity for everyone except the Americans. Yeah. But wait, there's more, because we got to go full screen again. Let's see if we can hit it off here. This is on the same plane as we just discussed, but let's talk about it.
It's very important.
Mr. Secretary, with all due respect, how is allowing 600,000 students from the communist country of China putting America first?
Well, the president's point of view is that what would happen if you didn't have those 600,000 students is that you'd empty them from the top. All the students would go up to better schools, and the bottom 15% of universities and colleges would go out of business in America. So his view is he's taking a rational economic view, which is classic Donald Trump, looking at higher education and saying,
But why are you
until
helping
we
Harvard?
modify that.
That just
What's
helps
that?
Harvard and UCLA and UCal Berkeley and I mean y'all helping those schools. Why? They're like, basically factories of anti-American propaganda. Now they're getting a big influx of cash because of the Chinese students. I know President Trump has always been very pro-Chinese student. I just don't understand it for the life of me. Those are 600,000 spots that American kids won't get.
Well, I tell you what, I'm involved in changing the H-1B program, right? We're going to change that
that's a
program
scam.
because that's terrible, right? We're going to change the green card. You know, we give green cards. The average American makes $75,000 a year, and the average green card recipient, $66,000. So we're taking the bottom quartile.
Right.
Like, why are we doing that? That's why Donald Trump is going to change it. That's the gold card that's coming. And that's we're going to start picking the best people to come into this country.
The best people, I tell you. Man, there is so much to unpack with this pile of malarkey. I hardly know where to begin. Really appreciate you explaining it to us. Maybe you were mansplaining it to us, Howard. You creepy scumbag. Man. Okay, so the boob you were just listening to, Howard Lutnick, Trump's Commerce Secretary. This was the same laughing boy, hyena, scumbag piece of hog phlegm that was just giggling and laughing all the way home a couple weeks ago when Trump was fielding fielding press questions, I believe inside the Oval Office, and someone dared to mention the usual suspect that's not being covered, the big old fat elephant in the room that's going everywhere, knocking over the furniture to, fro, and slinging dung anywhere he wants to go. The big elephant in the room known as the Epstein scandal. So during that press conference, Trump was, again, laughing it off. Oh, it's all fake news. It's not even real. And then laughing boy Lutnick over here is just laughing his face off the whole time like it's all some big colossal joke, folks. Let me tell you who it's not a joke for. Let me tell you who it's not a joke to. That would be the children that have been trafficked, kidnapped, dead, raped, abused 6 ways from Sunday. These people wouldn't find it the least bit conspiratorial, funny, or fake news, Howard. You piece of human garbage. In case you missed it, Howard lived right next to Epstein. They were neighbors. In case you missed it, Howard, his sister worked closely with who? Ghislaine Maxwell, the dare I say, person that is allegedly serving time in a club fed somewhere. I mean, I don't even know if that's legit. Who the bleep would know that? Because the only people that can confirm nor deny these accounts would be the mainstream media, the Mockingbird press that's giving you these stupid stories. So I guess allegedly Ghislaine's in prison, but then again, she was getting released on some sort of half-bleep work release program. It's not like she was in a salt mine somewhere. It's not like Ghislaine's, in some hot box somewhere on the grounds of Alcatraz. Not even close, folks. Not even stinking close. So nauseating. So did you need me to break this down for you for laughing boy Lutnick here? Oh, yeah. This is just comedy at its finest if it weren't so nauseating. So 600,000 Chinese students will be attending the United States major and mid and otherwise universities all across this land of liberty. So Howard had the nerve to say that if we didn't take these people somehow, that it could put universities out of business. I guess because we wouldn't see this 600,000 increase in students. How is that so, Howard? Do you think we don't have 600,000 American students that are smart enough to get into university? Seems to me like we're giving it to the Chinese as some sort of colossal bailout to the universities. He was saying if we didn't take these 600,000, that I don't even know how they did this ridiculous math. I think it's hog flim at best. If we didn't take these 600,000, that would somehow lower the numbers in some of these universities, and some of the lower tier universities would go out of business. Awesome. Great. Tremendous. I couldn't think of a better plan. Put these universities out of business. Business being the operative word here. These are institutions of higher learning. Laugh, laugh, yuck, yuck. These are businesses. These are businesses that get funded with your tax dollars. These are businesses that also make a profit. I mean, it's such a joke. Such a joke. That's why a couple years ago, there was someone in academia who will remain nameless, but they were kind of talking trash about the Phoenix University and all these other quote-unquote for-profit universities that have popped up everywhere. And I was thinking like, yo, how are they any different than the mainstream university? Is the mainstream university not making profits? Please. Is the mainstream university nothing more than the whores of the government that are waiting for their pimp handout? That's why they are censoring what you say here, there, and everywhere you might happen to go, because they don't want to get chastised by the government pimp hand. So this is nothing more than a bailout to the universities. And I mean, I'm no Ingram fan here, Laura Ingram, but I mean, at least she was calling it for what it was. She was like, yeah, the visas is a flipping joke. And this whole thing's a flipping joke, folks. That's all this is. So, again, we're in a too-big-to-fail monopoly system a la Barack Hussein Obama, better known as Barry Soetoro, if you're nasty. That's exactly what this is. Too big to fail. So, since we don't want these bottom-tier universities to go out of business, we're going to funnel into the system 600,000 Chinese communists that are going to do nothing more than steal our education and our secrets and send it back over to the motherland. And thus, we're going to fund, particularly these major universities, the top tier ones, that are going to get these, I guess, allegedly very smart individuals, and they're going to probably not go to school for free, so they're going to pay the universities in some form or fashion. And yeah, these are the same universities that are supposedly getting chastised by the government pimp hand for criticizing Israel, getting chastised for this open door policy with immigration, getting chastised for this nonsense about I'm not even getting into it. It's just so beyond the pale here. So that's old laughing boy Lutnick once again. Just another joke in the wall, really, is all this is. But wait, there's more, because I mean, it just keeps getting more hilarious. I mean, we've darn near, tripled, I guess you would say, from 2023, 2024, 277,000. Now we're at 600,000. We're just letting them in. And I guarantee you they're getting funding. What a bunch of nauseating garbage. But if that wasn't enough to laugh your face off, we got more laughs for you. I mean, it just gets more silly all the time. Let's see if we can cue this audio. We'll put this on the screen there. Hit it.
The wages for blue-collar workers are now rising at the fastest rate in 60 years, which is so important to all of us around this table. The average American worker has already seen a $500 wage increase this year, and there's no inflation. Because there's been decreases, tremendous decreases with
my gracious goodness sakes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I did not mean for this show to become a comedy. But what else can it be? What else can it be, folks? Granted, under Chairman Biden, we were at 9%, and now we're somewhere around 2 to 3 inflation numbers. But to sit there and say that there's no inflation, I don't know what in the realm of ever-loving feces that he is really trying to articulate. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's fairly obvious to anyone with eyes to see, ears to hear, that there is quite a bit of inflation actually going on. There really is. Already seeing a $500 wage increase. I mean, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. The old Mark Twain quote. Maybe that's true somewhere. I couldn't tell you where. You know, I would rather quote the great Gerald Celente. If you're looking for how the economy is, don't look at Wall Street, look at Main Street. I guarantee you, your dollar has way less purchasing power than it did 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. And that ain't because of the Keebler elves. That's not because of the boogeyman. That's not because of the Michelin man. It's because of blipping inflation. There's a reason I can't go to the blipping grocery store and leave having spent only $20 with anything at all to even eat. Guarantee. I could spend $20 at the store just about like sneezing in a pepper factory and will have spent, have purchased next to frickin' nothing. $20 will get you what? Maybe, 12 eggs and a milk? Maybe some butter? I mean, what a flippin' joke, man. What a complete laugh. But, that's how it is, I guess. But fear not, because, in spite of all that, if you criticize Israel, Pirro's coming for you. And then Palantir, too. And if you burn the flag, we're going to put you in jail for a year. It's going down on your permanent record. I'm coming here cracking skulls. Yeah. Exactly what's going down. We'll go after people that hit the police with a sandwich. We'll go after people that burn the flag. We'll go after people that post something negative about Israel. But the pedos, they got a green light. Let me tell you what. The political class of criminals, they're not going nowhere near to jail. I guarantee you. They ain't going nowhere near to jail, folks. You think Nancy Pelosi is going by a jail? No. Her shadow will never darken a cell door. Never happen. I'm sorry if that hurts everybody's feelings out there, but that's just reality, folks. Not happening. Okay, we got time to do a little weapons of mass distraction. Oh, yeah. Let's see how much we can get into. Weapons of mass distraction. Let's cue it up, folks. Let's cue it up indeed. So what have we got here? The plague, I guess. I mean, it's just... Holy shnikes, folks. This is from LA Times. The plague reappeared in California. Here's how dangerous it is. Los Angeles Times. Yeah, the plague. You remember the big plague? The plague who swept through Europe, and I believe it was Dr. Drew that was on some program. Don't quote me on the name of it recently. I believe this past 24 hours here. But Dr. Drew was just stating the obvious. It was basically a no-brainer that we're going to see the plague reemerge and probably just cascade all through California, because the vast majority of California has been relegated to a complete third world bleep hole. So it's just the facts, folks. I mean, it's been at least probably like 5-6 years where they had the poo-poo maps of San Francisco. These were maps outlining where you would find the most human feces in the city. So I guess you were taking your family out to San Francisco. I cannot imagine why. But you were going out with your family to San Francisco, so you were like, yo, let's get the poo-poo app so that we can make our way to our favorite commie restaurant and avoid feces. Maybe we can make our way to the Golden State game and avoid the poo-poo. You know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, we got the plague back in California. That sounds fine, though. What else we got? It gets better, though, folks. So don't change that dial because we got so much more. We got the first case of flesh-eating screeworm parasite detected in Los Estados Unidos. Yeah, boys and girls. The first case of the flesh-eating parasite New World screeworm has been detected in the United States. So saith the Department of Health and Human Services early lunes, Monday, por los gringos. Yeah, this case involved a person who had recently traveled to El Salvador. Say it ain't so. Was confirmed to be screeworm by the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and the Maryland Health Department on August 4th. So yeah, so imagine this, and this isn't even news in most of Central America. So like this whole thing is not even a news story there, but luckily the United States has basically had an open border for the past 5 years, and now it's just kind of barely open, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, you know, the chickens have come home to roost. The flesh-eating worm type chickens, you know. So that's kind of what we're seeing. I guess now we've got flesh-eating worms as well as the bubonic plague here in America. Amazing, isn't it? Holy shnikes. Ah, gracious, that's not what I wanted at all. That's what I wanted for sure. So we got one more on the docket. Rochester Attorney's Office makes charging decision against Shiloh Hendricks from the April video incident. I swear. Oh, my gracious. Rochester, Minnesota. In case you hadn't figured this out, Minnesota's a commie bleep hole. I guess majority Muslim now, so I don't even think we have 50 states anymore. I would say at best like 47, maybe. So in case you missed this one, let's see. Charges would amount to a maximum of 90 days in jail and or $1,000 fine. Oh my gracious goodness sakes alive. 3 counts of disorderly conduct against Shiloh Hendricks, a woman who used a racial slur against a Somali child with a disability. Oh my. Good night, nurse. Please help us, Heavenly Father. Please help us. So once again, I mean, it's comedy at its finest. It really is. So once again, we live in a time where we have known pedophiles not just running amok like haphazardly in your neighborhood, but in public offices. I mean, well-known convicted pedophiles. We have lists. We have the whole 9 yards. But old Shiloh Hendricks, I guess, faces up to 90 days in jail because she I guess, shrieked a a pejorative term, the proverbial N-word. Ooh. And of course, the content vultures, kind of like that old Circle Jerk song, Casualty Vampires, craning their necks. That's what we have today. Everybody has become a casualty vampire, folks. And it's no longer just sort of rubbernecking on the highway at the accident. Now, the whole shtick is transcended that into how can we record the most absurd content and put it online. I mean, World Star Hip Hop, the racist organization that is, that's kind of their whole shtick. It's just beating up crackers, I guess. Why don't they just call it cracker attacks? Remember that old video when animals attack? Yeah, could be something similar to that. I guess it'd be a little different. But, you know, I mean, there's whole people like TMZ, for example. It's kind of like their bread and butter. It's just kind of like the most salacious video footage of all, you know, like catching people coming off a plane and, oh, somebody said something, somebody insinuated something. Here's someone scratching themselves. And you know, the whole flipping plane of existence is just turds, folks. So Shiloh Hendricks said a pejorative against some kid with a disability. You got to throw that in there. I mean, the whole blipping planet has a disability at this point, folks. Kid out of Dodge. I mean, that's why leaving the house is such a hazard, because you don't know what you're going to run into. Everybody's on the road vaping, smoking weed, drinking probably, and at the very least on prescription meds for their 3 or 4 different dissociative disorders, depression, hangover, methadone, whatever the freak else you could possibly think of. The whole world has a disability at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, so that don't crack any ice with me. Okay, so she said the dreaded word to some kid in a playground that was acting like a jackwagon. Holy shnikes. Now, because some rubbernecking casualty vampire was there to record it, we have to sit there and watch this chick potentially go to jail for 90 days. Just keeps getting dumber, doesn't it? How much time did Anthony Weiner spend in a club fed? I want to know that one, folks. Still haven't released any details on the old laptop, had we? We've had, I believe, 8 different officers suddenly commit suicide. Nothing to see here. Obama's cook drowned himself, I guess. Nothing to see here. The trail of tears behind the Clinton crime syndicate. Nothing to see here. But don't worry, Shiloh will get 90 days in the slammer for cursing at some boob in a park. Unbelievable. And no, I'm not condoning this special word. Ooh. It's just a laugh, folks. Our whole society is a laugh. So the next time you say, the next time you see a cop pulling somebody over, just realize it's all a flipping joke. It's rules for thee, but not for me. That's what this whole shtick's about. Next time you go to the airport and get, you know, some random bipedal walrus haircut, high and tight kind of gal, you know, giving you the once over, giving you the pat down, going to third base there in front of everybody, putting you in a naked body scanner, whisking you off to a room in an undisclosed location. Just remember, there's people streaming across the border right now that ain't going to face nothing. They're going to get a free meal, room, board, plane trip, hotel set up, all kinds of gift cards, health care. Keep all this in mind while you're getting groped at the airport, while you're getting pulled over on the side of the highway for going 10 miles over the speed limit. Keep this in mind the next time they bust some kid's lemonade stand. It's all a sham, folks. It's a nothing burger in a nothing burger. It's a whole pile of turds. So, dare I say, I think we've connected many a dot here. We've covered the Palantir. We've covered the joke-level tyranny that we're about to live under. Here's a big news flash, folks. I'm not suggesting, I am not suggesting that we don't need some actual law and order in these commie bleep holes, because we're not going to get any with these elected officials and the scum that's running these territories. That's not going to happen. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I condone flag burning and just think we should just, oh, it's no big deal. I am saying it's free blipping speech. And I'm not saying we don't need some sort of security services, but we do not need AI monitoring everything we say, do, and otherwise, reporting it back to Israel and whisking us away into an undisclosed location for it. It's all the tenets of the Patriot Act without the same nuthead in office. We've replaced one nuthead for another. So, here's what I am saying. If we really want to see some changes, if we want to see anything in the realm of the old republic that once was, that is no more, if we want to kick it back to some sort of semblance of a Norman Rockwell painting and not some H.R. Geiger dystopian hellscape, then it's going to have to start with a cultural change. I know people that have listened to this show are getting tired of hearing it, but it's a cultural shift that's going to have to happen. Okay? It's kind of like the winning hearts and minds thing that we don't really do anymore. We just blow up your country, kill your kids, and just say, deal with it. But that's what it's actually going to take. In order for people not to want to burn the flag, you have to give them a reason to not burn the flag. That would be not entertaining the troops in these undeclared wars, not putting us in harm's way. Shut down the, I don't know what it is, 200 and some odd bases. Shut them all down. Bring the troops home and put them on the borders, defending our country from invaders. Moratorium on immigration, that ain't even the half, folks. We need to shut it all down for at least 10 years. If you're wanting to come to school here, think again, bugger off. That should be our policy, okay? And don't give me this B to the S that you're somehow escaping persecution. You're escaping government tyranny. I ain't buying it, folks. Just not buying it. So park yourself south of the border somewhere in Mexico and enjoy life, okay? We're not paying for your mess. We're not helping you with your mess. We're letting you and yours handle your mess. See how it works? So then we should also cut all funding to all of these other third world bleep holes all over the continental United Nations, I guess is what we are, because we're all just under one big UN umbrella of turds now. So no more funding Israel, no more funding Ukraine, no more funding Ethiopia, no more funding Korea, no more funding China, no more funding Mexico, no more funding nobody. So if we started to venture down this path, then dare I say, we might see a change of faith here in the United States. Because if we did all that, we might actually have a healthcare system that Barry Soetoro dreamed about. Not really. He wanted this whole thing to get bankrupted. But if we actually took the funds that we urinate away all across the globe and actually spent it here, I mean, there's been countless people have done the numbers on this. I mean, every person in this country could get like a $1 million check, basically. That would spark the actual economy, wouldn't it? I'm all for the tariffs. Tariff the bleep out of everybody. Shut down the income tax. Fire everybody in every security agency and start over. No more FBI, no more CIA, no more IRS to start with, okay? And work your way down the alphabet soup mafia list after that. Fire them all. No golden parachute, no buyout, no pension plan. See you later, Charlie. It's been nice. PP off. So that might actually change the culture of the country to where people don't resent the nation doing this nonsense that they're doing. You think so? And then, of course, I would assuredly tackle the K-12 indoctrination, college, university weaponization. Most all those people should be fired as well. Because the curriculum of these institutions does nothing but denigrate this nation and foster division. Okay, folks, that's just my thoughts. You know, I gotta call it here. Been here for a little bit now, probably over time. I was hoping to have a nice, lovely announcement. I was hoping to be doing a little bit of a different thing this evening. But I will have to just press pause on that. So I will not reveal the possible thing. Maybe we'll do this again another day. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Get out there, do your part, make a difference, and I'll be seeing you sooner than later in the Anomic Age.
Thank you for listening to the Anomic Age, a JohnAge project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to AnomicAge.com. That's AnomicAge.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to the Anomic Age.
Thank you.